Kinship is continuing that approach of ensuring that we provide everything that's necessary to make that victim into a survivor.
Ultimately, I feel like there's three big things that they need. They need to have some empathy that's given to them, and essentially resources that can be able to help give them that support that they need, and then ultimately non-judgment.
Making sure that they have a place that they feel secure in some form of ways, and to me that's kinship, is being that person that gives them a sense of, I belong here and I'm safe in this place.
As we get a chance to hear them out and validate their emotions, it helps them to heal ultimately.
I think how we can help survivors to feel seen and heard is to listen and to give them grace and to give them compassion and a lot of love.
I was also a victim of crime, and it pushed me to a point where turning 19, I felt like I do not know where my route is in life. And it pushed me to actually seek psychology, to actually learn about myself. And that's where everything else started, was seeking, how can I help others that was also in my shoes? And at this point in my life, as being a social worker, I realized that's my goal in life, is to help others get to a place of healing, to help others get to a place where they are going to grow and learning about themselves so that they are able to grow in a different way in life and move towards a greater them, a greater self.
It's like, really think about that first interview when you're asking someone to tell you about what happened, because you don't want to do that a second time. It makes me more grateful than ever to people who are kind of willing to tell their stories.
We can't make judgment calls on their situations. We have to understand their needs at that point in time in their lives and understand their trauma and the needs. Because sometimes it will take them a lifetime to get through it, depending on what type of support they have, whether it's medical support, psychological support, or support of their family members. But we have to stay connected to them, and we have to listen to them, and we can't make judgments.
Sharing my story of healing and my story of survival, it helped her to want to reach out and seek help for what was ailing her, and it inspired her to share her story as well.
It was a real mistake to assume that people didn't want to talk about some of these issues. And so when we started to really, invite that conversation to happen, and it was like a geyser, just that, like the oil well had been tapped, and just this font of kind of pent up information.
Because a lot of times when victims seek a place of refuge, they often don't feel heard. And so active listening, providing that place where you say, hey, it's okay, I'm here, and just providing that space for them to tell you what is happening. That is one of my favorite factors or about myself, is like actually sitting there and listening to victims tell you what they are going through.
Through the journey of giving that non-judgmental and space for them to be able to tell their story, I have experienced where there was someone that ended up getting a chance to start their life anew, and I was really grateful to just hear the joy that was in their voice when I spoke with them over time as they were out there.